What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL World? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Steven Hyder, the Gate City Sports Channel. All right, guys. Carson Wentz is finally dealt. I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of glad, man. I was sick and tired of this news cycle. I mean, I kept trying to tell people that, hey, I'm not saying one guy's better than the other guy. I'm saying they both had pretty difficult seasons to judge last year. But what I am saying is one guy wants to be here right now. One guy, it would appear they didn't want to be here. And that's, that has to be factored in. And like I kept saying, guys, like, if you ask me, I went from 50-50 to about 51-49. He was going to get dealt. And I said, I know the contract is an issue. I know the Eagles winning a certain compensation in return for Carson Wentz is an issue. But at the end of the day, I kept saying, I don't see how you can bring Carson Wentz back after you hired a new coach. You did all these things. And he still said, you know what? It's not about the coach. It's about you guys in the front office. I don't want to work with you guys in particular. I think that, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do? I mean, you have to move on. Like, the guy doesn't want to work with you. Like, you have to move on at that point. It's interesting what the compensation and the value was, guys. I said before, I thought that the Eagles wanted a first-round pick, or they wanted basically multiple second, day two picks. And that's what they got. It was not the value the Eagles were seeking. We know how the trade rumors all started. The Eagles seeking basically a Matthew Stafford level deal of like 2 first-round picks, and we all knew that was the beginning of the negotiations. We knew that's not where they were going to end, but you have to set it high. You're not going to come in below what you want and then try to manage your way up. It's not the way negotiations work, guys. So I thought that what the asking price the Eagles were seeking was a first-round and a second-round pick, and it got short of that. I think that they were very much dissatisfied with the prospects of getting a pick this year and then a pick next year. I don't think that they like that format of things. I'll be honest with you, it's probably not going to be a popular compensation package in the eyes of many Eagle fans. I will say the value they got for the conditional pick for next year, I think, is fair. I think that part of it's fair to say, look, we'll give you a second-round pick, but if this guy plays 75% of his snaps, we'll adjust that and escalate that up to a first-round pick. I think that's fair. Like, You're basically saying, like, hey, man, look, if this guy plays 75% of our snaps, it doesn't matter what the performance is. If he's there for 75% of the snaps, we got you. Like, we're going to get you fair compensation. When you weigh that in, is that what they wanted? I don't think so, guys. I think they wanted a first and a second-round pick. I think it's what they truly were looking for. And I think what they got was a third-round pick in 2021 and a second to first-round pick in 2022, which is multiple day two picks with the possibility of being a day two pick combined with a day one pick. So, I mean, it's tough, guys. I don't really know how you can weigh the value stuff. I know some of you guys are you're not going to be happy with that. And I get it, guys. Like, I'm not telling you to feel satisfied with that compensation package coming back in return. But, I mean, it sucks because on one hand, we need multiple bodies. And this is the thing I kept trying to tell people. If you're telling me you think we're only a quarterback away from winning, I completely disagree with you. I think that the roster has a lot of issues, a lot of underlying issues that need to be resolved, and youth is one of them. And, Carson Wentz was a tool that could be implemented or used in order to gain back compensation to make the roster younger. And I know what a lot of people are going to say, guys. I get it. You have no faith that Howie's going to make the right selections here. I mean, there's nothing I can offer you that's going to be encouragement, guys. I can't tell you, like, all of a sudden he's going to get things right. I can't do that. What I can tell you is to take comfort in the fact that maybe what we were witnessing underneath Howie Roseman was a lack of judicious, like a lack of being prudent to who to choose when it came to the scouting department and the coaching staff. Because I will say is if you look at those corners that we took and Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas, when they left and went outside of the Eagles, they looked like competent players to me. So I think maybe there were some issues going on here between the coaching staff in the scouting department. And there's a new coaching staff coming in, okay? So maybe the scouting and the coaching will be more hand-in-hand in terms of the players that they want. So, I mean, that's one way of looking at it, that's a way of limiting the impact that Howie Roseman can have on your draft board, right? Like, now you don't have him out there making these, decisions between coaching and scouting department. I mean, that's one really positive way of looking at this, guys. And I can't promise you that that's factual, guys. I'm just telling you one of the ways that maybe this can become better for the Eagles, right? In terms of what the picks are going to be now, what the Eagles will do going forward, guys. I don't think this quiets any of the rumors of the Eagles, potentially seeking a quarterback in this draft. It's not going to quiet those rumors, guys. It's not. I think there's a certain level of guys where if you're the Eagles and you're looking at the top 2, top 3 guys, that's one thing. I think that there's merit for trying to go and get one of those guys. If you're talking about guys 4 through 6, if you're talking about reaching and extending and projecting, guys, I have reservations. And I'm not saying that a guy like Trey Lance is not a more physically gifted player as a quarterback than Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying that at all, guys. I'm saying, though, that he's got a lot of bad footwork issues. Like, if you really break down his film, guys, Trey Lance is an incredibly athletic guy that he's got a high ceiling. He might be the dude. But there's risk, man. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys there's no risk to Trey Lance, man. His footwork is quite ugly in certain snaps. You look at a guy like Mac Jones, the question's going to be, is he was a highly accurate quarterback. I think he's a really good scheme fit here in Philadelphia. I don't know that he has an NFL-level talent, like, arm, to be honest with you. I don't know. Like, that he's going to have to define, guys. And I'm not saying that that's truthful. I'm just saying I don't know. I couldn't tell from the film that I broke down on Mac Jones to say that that was truthful. Then you have Kyle Trask, who has the arm, very similar guy in terms of the profile to a Carson Wentz. Probably not the top end ceiling of a guy like Carson Wentz and, some of those type of players, but definitely a guy who's worked with the quarterback coach. He's a guy that kind of knows the system fairly well. It's not that different from what he was playing in. There's going to be some subtleties. There's going to be some difference. There's always a jump from college to the pros, guys. But, I think you have to look at it is that we're not a quarterback away. So are these 4 through 6 guys that much of an upgrade over Jalen Hurts to where you try to build around them instead of Jalen Hurts? I mean, in my opinion, I probably would go with Jalen Hurts, guys. And I know that's not going to be universal. I know some of you guys are going to be like, what? How can you say that? I would personally go with Jalen Hurts if I can't get the top 3 guys. I just don't think that – I'm not saying that those guys aren't better than Jalen Hurts, guys. Please don't mistake what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think the leap between them is enough to give up multiple picks to chasing them or anything like that. Like, it's one thing if you're sitting in your second round and someone slides down and you want to take a shot. By all means, take a shot. But I'm not chasing any of these dudes with picks, is my opinion. I wouldn't chase them. Like, I would just try to make the team better around the quarterback and see what that gets you. You know what I mean? Like, just see what it gets you. That's what I would do, guys. I would try to make this football team that is surrounding the quarterback better going forward, right? And let's be real, guys. We need a ton of defensive players. We have guys that we're already hearing rumors that the coaching staff does not like the depth they have at certain positions on this football team, which is no mystery. Anyone with a sane mind wouldn't like the depth. But they don't like the particular players. They don't think they're good scheme fits for what they're going to do. So I'm telling you guys, I feel like this is going to be a somewhat defensive-heavy draft. I would imagine we could see as many as 4 or 5 picks being spent on the defense, to be quite honest. I think you could see something like that. But we'll see, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you feel about the value received for Carson Wentz? Do you think this is just nonsense and that the Eagles should have held out longer? Do you think they should have just brought him back because of the value and it wasn't enough? I mean, like I said, guys, my opinion on it is that, yeah, the compensation is short of what he was probably really worth. But at the same time, guys, like, what are you supposed to do, man? He didn't want to be here. Like, what do you do? I mean, you know how awkward that would have been, guys? Like, it's hard to justify that, in my opinion. In terms of what do you think the Eagles are going to do in this draft, guys? I'm not going to say they're going to draft a quarterback, guys, but I do know in the back of my mind, we've heard the things that Howie said. You're not often up this high in the draft. When you're up this high in the draft, you got to take advantage of it. Like, I'm assuming, no, I'm not assuming, that's not the right word. I'm hoping that word means that we're going to go get a weapon to put around Jalen Hurts to make him successful, a Kyle Pitts, a Jamar Chase, a Devontae Smith, an offensive lineman to make that offensive line elite again. Because let's be real, we got guys that are really good if they're healthy. You get a Brandon Brooks or a Lane Johnson, healthy guys, they're difference makers. They're over 30, they're constantly injured. It might be time for a youth movement here. So if you can get a guy that can be like a blue chip player alongside of a Mulata, alongside of, eventually moving Seomalu into center, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's time. Like a Jack Driscoll playing out there somewhere. Like, I think it's time, man, to start rebuilding for the future here in Philadelphia, guys. That's my opinion on it, guys, but I want to know what you guys think down below. All right, y'all. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee down below, or you can just simply like, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, because that, guys, also greatly helps the channel. Without anything else really to say about this, guys, other than hey, I'm glad this is over with. I'm glad we don't have to keep doing this news cycle crap. I'm so glad that we can move on and talk about this offense underneath Jalen Hurts, underneath whoever's going to be here, and how we're going to do things, the talent we can bring in here. I'm just glad to have a new narrative surrounding this stuff, to be quite honest. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out of here.